Chemical properties of alkene. The carbon-carbon double bond, which is the characteristic feature of every alkene. It will consist of a strong sigma bond and a weak pi bond. In this case, the pi bond break up easily when it is attacked by the chemical reagent, and the two new strong bonds that will get formed on the count of one pi bond. Thus, the typically alkenes undergo addition reaction, which involves the union of two reacting molecules, that is alkene and attacking reagent, to yield a single molecule of the product, which is called the addition product. A majority of different addition reaction of alkene are initiated by electrophilic reagent. Since the electron pair of pi bond in alkene serve as a source of electron. But apart from this, the electrophilic reactions, the alkene will also undergo free radical reaction, substitution reaction, and cleavage reactions. So let us consider the first one, that is the addition reaction. In this case, the hydrogen gas that is added to alkene in the presence of catalyst like platinum, palladium, and nickels, and finally the alkane that will get formed. In this case, the temperature and pressure employed in the reaction that will vary with nature of the catalyst. So let us take one example. In this case, ethylene that is subjected to addition of hydrogen in the presence of platinum, and this reaction will take place at 300 Kelvin, and this reaction will yield ethane gas. The reaction proceeds quite rapidly in this case. In the presence of suitable catalyst, but the reaction is very slow if the catalyst is absent. Mechanism of hydrogenation. The hydrogenation of alkene is a heterogeneous reaction which takes place on the surface of solid metal catalyst, and it will occur in a stepwise manner. In first step, the hydrogen gas that will get adsorbed on the surface of metal catalyst, and the hydrogen molecule, it will get split into hydrogen atom, and at the same time the alkene, it will also get attached to the surface of the catalyst, and a complex between metals and alkene will get formed. In the next step, one of hydrogen that will get transferred to alkene, which is attached with the metal surface or catalyst surface, and in the next step, the next hydrogen that will get transferred to alkene that is already attached with the catalyst surface, and finally alkene that will get converted into alkanes, and it can diffused out of the catalyst surface. And it is interesting to note that in this case both the hydrogen atom that is added to alkene from the same sides. So this will also called syn addition. Next is the addition of hydrogen halide. Alkene readily undergo addition reaction with hydrogen halides like hydrogen chloride, hydrogen bromide, and hydrogen iodide. And finally, alkyl halide that will get formed. Let us take one example, the addition of hydrogen iodide to ethylene. In this case, ethyl iodide will get formed. So let us see the mechanism of this addition of hydrogen halides. In this case, reaction will called electrophilic addition reactions, and this reaction it will occur in two steps. In step number 1, which is the slow step, and it can control the overall rate of the reaction, and it will involve the transfer of proton from hydrogen halide to the alkenes. So it can lead to the formation of the carbocations. In this case, this proton it is added to the carbon on the cost of this pi bond, and this pi bond it will shift toward these sides. Then step number 2. In step number 2, the negative halide ions which is added to the carbocations, and this halide ion it will get attached with this carbon carrying the positive charge. So in this case, step number 1 that is the slow step and rate determined step, and step number 2 that is the fast step. Next is the addition of hydrogen halide to unsymmetrical alkenes, and it is called Markovnikov rule. So let us see it. In case of unsymmetrical alkenes, the addition of hydrogen halide can give rise to two isomeric products. Let us take the case of addition of hydrogen iodide to unsymmetrical alkene, that is the propylenes, and in this case the two products which are expected. The first one that is the N-propyl iodide, and second one that is the isopropyl iodide. However, it has been seen that actually in this case only isopropyl iodide that is the main product formed, and N-propyl iodide that is formed in very small quantities. So it has been observed that the product formed in this case that will formed in accordance with the Markovnikov rule, and this Markovnikov rule it will state that when addition across an unsymmetrical ethylenic bond takes place, the positive part of attacking reagent goes to the carbon with greater number of hydrogen atoms. So in this case, the positive part of the hydrogen halide, that is the hydrogen, it will goes with carbon atom that will having higher number of hydrogen that is already attached it with. So let us see the theoretical justification of Markovnikov rule. It has been seen that when addition of proton, that will be take place in step number 1 to unsymmetrical alkenes, it have two choices. If pi bond, that will shift toward this side, then proton that will get attached with this carbon, and the first carbocation that will get formed. And the second choice, if this pi bond it will shift toward this side, then proton that will get attached with this carbon, and finally second carbocation that will get formed. And it is very much clear from first and second carbocation. The second carbocation, that is the secondary carbocation, and it is more stable as comparison to this primary carbocation. So finally the main product, that is the isopropyl iodide, and it will form from this secondary carbocation, which is more stable carbocation and easily formed during the course of reactions. Modern version of Marconi-Cups rule. It states that during the addition to ethylenic double bond, which involves the formation of more stable carbocations, and it is the second definition. Next is the anti-Marconi-Cups rule, and it is also called peroxide effect. It has been observed that in presence of peroxide, the addition of hydrogen bromide to alkene take place, that is against the Marconi-Cups rule. For example, when propylene it is treated with hydrogen bromide in the presence of benzoyl peroxide, the predominant product is N-propyl bromide and not isopropyl bromide, as expected according to the Marconi-Cups rule. What if the addition of hydrogen bromide that will be carried out in the absence of benzoyl peroxide or peroxide? Then reaction will occur in accordance with the Marconi-Cups rule. So that the action of peroxide, which can cause the anti-Marconi addition of hydrogen bromide in case of unsymmetrical alkene, and it is also called peroxide effect, and this effect it is discovered by Kharash, and so it is sometimes also called the Kharash effect. And it should be carefully observed that if the reaction will take place even in the presence of peroxide, in case of addition of reagents such as hydrogen chloride, hydrogen iodide and sulfuric acid, then no peroxide effect can be observed in and another electron goes with this carbon, and finally the bromine free radical that will get attached with this carbon, and this intermediate free radical will get formed. Then in the step number 4, now this bond break homolytically and each electron that is shared by both the atom, and this hydrogen free radical, it will get attached with this carbon that will already having one electron, and finally this product will be get formed. This mechanism is supported by the fact that only a small quantity of peroxide that is needed to initiate the reaction. Similarly, if addition of small quantity of an inhibitor such as hydroquinone is added to this reaction, then it can stop the reactions. So these two facts can support that the mechanism occurs through the free radical formation during the course of the reactions. Let us consider examples. The addition of hydrogen bromide to propylenes in step number 1, which is the chain initiation step. The benzoyl peroxide will undergo homolysis and each electron will be shared by these two oxygen atoms. First of all, this benzoyl free radical will get formed, and finally it can give this C6H5 free radical with 2 mole of carbon dioxide. In the step number 2, now this bond can break homolytically and each electron of the bond shared by both the atom, and finally this hydrogen free radical, it will get attached with this carbon and benzene will get formed along with bromine free radicals. Then in the next step, which is the chain propagation step, the bromine free radical will attack on the propylene. Now there are two situations. Now this bond can break homolytically and each the electron that will be shared by both the carbon. Now if bromine attack on this carbon, then this free radical will get formed. If bromine it will attack on this carbon, then this free radical will get formed, and it is very much clear from this one is the secondary free radical and this one is the primary free radicals, and out of these two, the secondary free radical that is more stable. So finally in step number 4, now this bond can break homolytically and each electron will be shared by both the atom, and this hydrogen free radical it will attached on this carbon that will carrying the free electrons, and finally isopropyl bromide will get formed. Non-application of anti-Marconi curves rule for the addition of hydrogen chloride and hydrogen iodide. It may be noted that unlike the addition of hydrogen bromide, the peroxide effect is not observed in case of addition of hydrogen chloride or hydrogen iodide to unsymmetrical ethylene bonds, and this is due to the fact that in case of hydrogen chloride, the bond dissociation energy that is 430 kilojoule per mole, and this value is higher than the case of hydrogen bromide. In that case, the bond dissociation energy that is 368 kilojoule per mole. For due to the fact that the bond between hydrogen and chlorine, it does not break symmetrically in case of hydrogen chloride. Similarly, in case of hydrogen iodide, the bond dissociation energy, that is 297 kilojoule per mole, and it is low as comparison to the hydrogen bromide, and it can be cleaved symmetrically. What the iodine atom formed in this case, that can readily combined among themselves to form the iodine molecule rather than added to the ethylenic bonds. So these are the two main reasons due to which the hydrogen chloride and hydrogen iodide does not take part in reaction according to the anti-Marconi-Kupf's rules. Relative reactivity of alkene in electrophilic addition reactions. In this case, the rate controlling step is the addition of halogen acid to alkene, that is step number 1, and it can involve the formation of the carbocations, and we know that the ease of formation and relative stability of carbocation follow the following order. The tertiary carbocation, that is more stable as comparison to secondary, and the primary carbocation, that is the least stable. This means that an alkene which give rise to tertiary carbocation would undergo addition more readily than another which form a secondary carbocation. Similarly, the alkene forming a secondary carbocation would be more reactive than one which form a primary carbocation. And in short, the relative reactivity of alkene depend upon the ease of formation and stability of the intermediate compound. Let us consider the substituted alkene. In this case, the relative reactivity are determined by the nature of the substituent group attached on carbon-carbon double bond. If the substituent group is electron attracting group, then it is going to destabilize the intermediate carbocation and decrease the ease of formation of it. And in other words, if the group is electron donor, then it can stabilize the carbocation that can formed during the electrophilic addition reaction. So in this case, this alkene which is highly substituted is the more stable, having 4 substitution around the carbon-carbon double bond, and when we move from left to right, the substitution around the carbon-carbon double bond, that will decrease. In this case, ethylene, there is no substitution, so it is the least stable among the alkenes. Next is the addition of sulfuric acids. In this case, cold concentrated sulfuric acid is added to alkene to form the alkyl hydrogen sulfate. So let us see the reaction. This one is the alkenes, and to this cold sulfuric acid that is added, and alkyl hydrogen sulfate will get formed. For example, if we started with ethylene, to this sulfuric acid is added, the final product, that is ethyl hydrogen sulfate, will get formed. Let us see the mechanism of the addition of the sulfuric acid. It will involving 2 steps, and it is similar to that of the hydrogen halide addition. to the alkenes. In step number 1, this pi bond, it will shifting toward this side and it will acquire partial negative charge and this will acquire partial positive charge, and sulfuric acid, it will lose one proton to this carbon. So first of all, carbocation will get formed along with hydrogen sulfate ions. Then step number 2. In step number 2, this hydrogen sulfate ion, it will react on the carbon which will carrying the positive charge, and finally alkyl hydrogen sulfate will get formed. In this case, step number 1, that is the flow step, so it is the overall controlling step, and step number 2, that is the first step. In this reaction, it may be pointed out that alkyl hydrogen sulfate are easily hydrated to form the alcohol. So final product, it will get it change into the alcohol on hydrolysis with water. Next is the addition of water to alkenes. In this case, the more reactive alkene directly added in water in the presence of dilute acid and it can yield the alcohols. And this reaction will take place in the presence of sulfuric acids. Let us see the examples. In this case, water that is added to alkene in the presence of sulfuric acid and tertiary butyl alcohol that will get formed. Let us see the mechanism of addition of water. This reaction also takes place via electrophilic addition reactions, and mechanism is similar to addition of protic acid. So it will comprises of 3 steps. In the step number 1, the protonated water that can lose 1 protons, 2 alkenes, and the carbocation that will get formed, and it is the flow step, so rate determine step in this case. Then step number 2. In step number 2, the water molecule that is added to positive carbocations and protonated alcohol that will get formed, and it is the first step. Then step number 3, the protonated alcohol, it can lose 1 proton, and finally alcohol will get formed, and it is again the first step. So this is the mechanism for the addition of water to the alkenes. Next is the addition of halogen. In this case, alkene undergo addition of chlorine or bromine in the presence of inert solvent carbon tetrachloride at room temperature, and finally bisphenol dihalide will get formed. For examples, this alkene, it is treated with bromine in the presence of carbon tetrachloride and butyl dibromide will get formed. In the reaction of an alkene with bromines, the red color of bromine is get discharged due to the formation of dibromide, which is colorless. Therefore, this reaction is also used as a test for the presence of carbon-carbon double bond in an organic molecule. Similarly, addition of fluorine to alkene is not carried out since it causes extensive cleavage of alkene molecule, and in case of addition of iodine, bisphenol diiodide will get formed, which is highly unstable and eliminate iodine molecule immediately to reform the double bond. It may be noted that unlike halogen substitution of alkene, the addition of halogen to alkene gives only one product in nearly quantitative yields. So let us see the mechanism. The addition of halogen having two mechanisms. The first one is it is like that of electrophilic addition process, which will involve the formation of the carbocation intermediate as the reaction of alkene with halogen acid and other protic acids. So let us discuss it. In this case, the halogen molecule is normally non-polar in nature, but when it comes close to pi electron cloud of the alkenes, it start repelling the electron cloud of the halogen molecules, and due to this repulsion, the electron of halogen molecule get displaced toward the halogen atom away from the alkene molecule, and it will cause the polarization in it. So the one end of halogen that will acquire the positive charge and another end that will acquire the negative charge. So it is the polarized halogen molecule. In the next step, this polarized halogen molecule, it is added to alkenes. Now this pi bond, it will going to shift toward this side, and it will acquire negative charge, and this carbon, it will acquire partial positive charge. So finally, this halogen, which will having the positive charge, it will attack on this carbon. So first of all, the intermediate carbocation will get formed along with the halide ions. Now the step number 2. In step number 2, the negatively charged halide ion that is added to the intermediate carbocation that can formed in the above step, and finally dihalide will get formed. In this mechanism, this step, it is the slow step, so it can overall control the reactions or it determines step, while the second step, that is the first step. This two-step ionic mechanism is supported by the fact that in the presence of an ion of another halogen, the addition reaction with a given halogen give different product containing different halogen atom in addition to the normal product. Then the limitation of this mechanism. First one is the stereochemistry of addition of halogen. The addition of halogen to alkene proceed almost completely in trans manner in this case, but according to this mechanism, addition of second halogen to carbocation can take place either from same site or either from the opposite side, which is the contradictory. And the second point, non-formation of rearranged product. The reaction involves carbocation intermediate as a postulated in above mechanism should be accommodated by the formation of rearranged product wherever possible. But there is no formation of rearranged product during the addition of halogen to alkene in this case. So these are the two major limitations if the reaction will take place according to the electrophilic additions. To overcome the above mechanism, that is the electrophilic addition mechanism, the new mechanism has been assigned, which is called cyclic halonium ion mechanism. In this case, addition of halogen to alkene involves the formation of new kind of cyclic ion which is called halonium ion, and rather than a simple carbocation. So let us consider this mechanism in detail. The first step, that is the similar. The bromine molecule, that is the non-polar in nature. When an alkene molecule that will approach the bromine molecule and it will start repelling the electron cloud of it. Due to repulsions, the polarization in case of bromine molecule will occur, and acquire the positive charge, at this end acquire the negative charge. So this one is the polarized bromine molecule. Now in the next step, this polarized bromine molecule, it will attack on the alkenes from this positive end, and it is due to the presence of this pi electron cloud, which is electron rich site, and it will lead to the formation of the pi complex, and in this case the bromine atom will get attached to both the carbon simultaneously through the sigma bond, and this one is the slow step, so rate determining step in this mechanism. And finally, this bond between two bromine atoms, it will undergo heterolytical cleavage, and this cyclic bromonium ion will get formed. Now in the next step, the cyclic bromonium ion that is attacked by the bromine halide, which will carrying the negative charge from the back side. Now this bond is going to break out, and electron on this bond pair, that is going to shift toward this side. And finally, this biphenyl dibromide will be get formed, and in this case the addition of second halogen or bromine atom, that will be take place from the trans side. So it is also called trans addition. The mechanism of cyclic halonium ion involve the formation of cyclic halonium ion, and the reaction lead to the formation of trans product in this case. This stereospecific nature of reaction cannot be justified if the addition were take place through the intermediate formation of carbocation, as in the case of addition of protic acid. So the second mechanism, it can explain the limitation which is reported in case of mechanism 1. Next is the formation of halohydrine. It is the reaction between alkene and chlorine or bromine in the presence of water, which lead to the formation of halohydrines. The halohydrine is the compound containing halogen and hydroxyl group on adjacent carbon atom. So let us see the examples. For examples, bromines and water that is added to ethylenes. So in this case, ethylene bromohydrine will get formed. So this carbon will having OH group, and this carbon will be having the bromine atoms. So ethylene bromohydrine will get formed. Let us see the mechanism. The overall reaction consists of the addition of elements of hypohalous acid, but the actual process proceeds through the attack by the polarized halogen, which is followed by the addition of the water. So let us see. In the first step, the polarized halogen molecule that will attack on the alkenes, and first of all this pi complex will be get formed, and finally this bond can break heterolytically and it will lead to the formation of cyclic halonium ions. And in the next step, the water molecule that will attack from the back side in the trans manner, and this bond can break out. The bond pair of this bond is shifted toward this halogen, and first of all this protonated intermediate compound will get formed, and finally it will lose one proton and the halohydrin will get formed. So this mechanism, it is almost similar to the addition of the halogen to the alkenes. The next one is the addition of alkane, and it is called alkylation. In this case, alkane that is added to alkene molecule in the presence of suitable acids which will act as a catalyst, and higher alkane will get formed. So let us see the example. In this case, isobutane that is added to isobutylenes in the presence of sulfuric acid, and 2,2,4 trimethyl pentane will get formed. Let us see the mechanism of alkylation. The alkylation is believed to take place through electrophilic mechanism involving intermediate formation of the carbocation. So in this step, this pi bond, it will shifting toward this side, and this carbon acquired negative charge, this carbon acquired positive charge, and one proton from acid that is added to this carbon carrying the negative charge. So carbocation will get formed. This is the tertiary butyl carbocation. In the next step, isobutylene molecule that is added to tertiary butyl carbocation. Now there is a carbon-carbon double bond, and it is the center or source of the electron. So this pi electron cloud, it will donated to this carbon atom that will carrying the positive charge. So this carbon, it will acquire positive charge and this intermediate will get formed. In the next step, now this intermediate formed in the above step to this isobutane molecule is added. Now it can lose this hydride, that is the H minus, to intermediate carbocation, and it can lead to the formation of 2,2,4 trimethyl pentane along with tertiary butyl carbocation that will get formed. The next is the addition of alkene, and it is also called polymerization. Under suitable condition, a molecule of an alkene can added to gather to form large molecule that is called polymer. The reaction is known as polymerization. The polymerization of alkene is also known as addition polymerization or vinyl polymerization. In this case, the polythenes and polypropenes and polystyrene can be formed by the addition of these different alkenes. So it is the polymerizations.